For instance, when I'm looking at the Instagram live feed, there's a part of me which is thinking, wait a second, there are comments flowing here, there are reactions coming here. This thing is scaled up to handle millions of people watching at the same time. And it is something which is so mind-boggling to me that in such a short period of time, where like my first phone was a Nokia 2100, it couldn't do any of these things. But my devices today can easily do that.
Making the right career choices are hard, with so much riding on the line. We're proud to announce Rudley, an online professional support platform. So if you're a student trying to decide the right career path to choose, or a working professional who's just not enjoying themselves and wants better, Rudley has you covered. With our cutting-edge assessments and AI-based recommendations, combined with one-on-one mentorship sessions from industry experts, we help you make an informed decision and reach your ideal career path.
How about the curiosity part of it? How would you say that the path you've chosen feeds that curiosity?
So in software engineering, I think curiosity should be a prerequisite for doing really well. But you can obviously get by knowing a certain language or a certain algorithm or a certain way of thinking. And you do okay. But to really enjoy what you're doing, you need to be able to dive deeper into all of these things. So I might see on the outset that a certain program or a certain product works a certain way. But then unless there is that innate curiosity where you're like, wait a second, why did this behave this way and not this other way? That's when there's so much opportunity for learning. For instance, when I'm looking at the Instagram live feed, there's a part of me which is thinking, wait a second, there are comments flowing here, there are reactions coming here. This thing is scaled up to handle millions of people watching at the same time. And it is something which is so mind-boggling to me that in such a short period of time, where like my first phone was a Nokia 2100, it couldn't do any of these things. But my devices today can easily do that. So how did they go and design these things is something which is really interesting. And the more you dive deeper, you see, oh, wait a second, they built it using this mechanism. So you learn a lot that way, and there's a sense of fulfillment even when you're using the product, which kind of helps drive you in that direction.
That's absolutely true. But don't you feel like, I mean, at least for myself, well, I'm also relatively curious, not as curious as you, but I feel like is it harder the slightly older we get? Because I mean, I'm sure it tends to wane because you're probably busy in your day-to-day life. You have your set, whatever. Life moves on. Like you get busy. How do you find the time to actually dig deeper into these things and actually, for that matter, reskill yourself as well? So I'm sure that curiosity and reskilling, it goes hand in hand, especially in development, because things move very, very quickly. So
yeah,
that's just it.
So reskilling myself, yes, this is something which I do have to wrestle with on some days, but not others. Like my interest in software engineering and tech in general is what allows me to do it. Like if you're not truly interested in it, there are times where you'll be like, I cannot look at another computer screen. I just want to sit down, but you then relax by looking at another computer screen which might have Netflix playing on it. But the fact of the matter is that for me at least, most of the time, it doesn't feel like too much of a chore. It doesn't feel like it's a task that I have to reskill myself. It's just me feeling that curiosity. But on other days where I'm mentally exhausted and I can't take in any information, I will leave it at the question. I'll be like, oh, how does this work? Good to know. Put it in my to-do list, figure out how this works. Don't look for the answers right now. Because at a certain point, you just stop absorbing new things. And I found YouTube to be a very addictive and interesting avenue to do this. You can just pop that question in and you'll have 5 people who give you great answers.
If you enjoyed this and want to keep getting career tips and advice from Rudley mentors, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be updated whenever we put out new content. What's more, you can opt to take up a one-on-one Rudley mentorship session with any mentor of your choosing. So, if career advice is what you're looking for, Rudley.com is where you need to go.